The rainforest disappears, so do the cardinal tetras.
Yeah.
I think we're all looking for a level of perfection that I don't know whether we ever attain it.
I don't think you will, and that's okay. And I
Yeah.
don't think you should expect it. Because if you expect it, then you start to get sad because you'll never reach it. So the joy is to find the joy in the process and not in the outcome. To me, that looks like a beautiful specimen.
That is a gorgeous specimen.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Steve Chester. Welcome to Premier Aquatics.
Cool, you're going to show us round? You can do all the talking, you're a good talker.
I'm a good talker, yeah, no problem. Seeing as though we're with a world famous aquascaper, we might as well start on the aquascaping section.
So
we do some bits. We've got lots of different types of bogwood in, of course. We're not an aquascaping specialist, I'd have said, but we try and cater for everybody, really.
Yeah.
And so
this
is
good selection.
Yeah, we like to have a good selection. At the moment, wood especially is really difficult to source.
Is it?
I think there's a lot of shipping problems.
Is that Brexit or Corona or a bit of both maybe?
Shipping containers more than anything, I think, is all the shipping containers being held up from China.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't stock a full range of everybody's products, but we do have a lot of dry goods as well, all the essentials that everybody would need.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the aquascaping rocks and...
These are great, these wooden crates.
A very good friend of mine, Lee, built these for me when we were working, when we were setting up.
Really?
And he's done an absolutely amazing job. Yeah, they are.
Is he on commission? Is he? We can get. I can get some business.
He will be in later on.
Really?
He also built the cabinet and the frame for the display.
I really want to have a little good look at this. Did he create this?
Yeah. This is one that we made. We built the tank.
Can we just turn those lights off a sec?
It was glass that we had lying around, so I built the tank.
You built it yourself?
Yeah, we build the fish tanks ourselves.
Beautiful, isn't it?
So it is, yeah. I was out in the Rio Negro 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And, well, this is just a simulation of what you'd find out there in South America, really. Dark, tannin stained water, lots and lots of bogwood.
Have you got any underwater photos that you took while you were there? Or any footage?
Mainly videos, but...
Can you send me a couple, maybe?
Of course I can, yeah.
I can overlay that.
At all. Yeah. I could show you today, but we'd never get out of the office, George. So we were there in the Rio Negro to look at cardinal tetras and the whole ornamental industry.
Wow, who did you go with?
I went out with Project Piarbe.
Oh yes, I've heard of this.
So absolutely amazing. I'd recommend it to anyone.
And do you mind me asking how much it was?
All in about 3,300 with flights.
And how long were you there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
On a beautiful houseboat.
Wow.
And absolutely fantastic. I think the project is the trip itself 2,200, and then your flights, whatever the flights are going to cost you after that.
And can you just explain to people that don't know what Project Piarbe is?
Yes, of course. So in the 80s, there were real concerns that the cardinal tetra industry was just becoming a monster, really. They were taking millions and millions of cardinal tetras from the wild, and the University of Manaus decided to start a study to see whether it was actually sustainable to keep up this level of trade.
Right.
They quickly established it was. The waterways are so vast, and the cardinal tetras are collected by such rustic means. It's almost impossible to overfish them.
Oh, really?
So year after year after year, they come back in the same numbers that were there previous.
So it's completely sustainable then?
It is sustainable.
Yeah.
This is a simulation of their habitat, so a lot of wood. It doesn't enable the fishermen to put a seine net through and take out 20,000 at a time.
Wow.
They're hand fished basically.
Oh, wow.
And I can share photographs of that process. And
I love the way you describe the woods there, and it's preventing the overfishing. It's like nature's there kind of protecting.
Their protector, exactly. And the beauty, the reason that they're trying to sustain the fishery is because a sustainable fishery creates a level of income for the fishermen.
Yeah.
If that's not there, they're going to turn to more destructive means of making a living.
Okay.
So gold mining, deforestation, cattle ranching.
So the fishing of the cardinal tetras is actually environmentally more friendly.
It actually protects the rainforest because it's in their best interest to keep the rainforest. If the rainforest disappears, so do the cardinal tetras.
And this is the sort of stories and the information that people need to be educated on, because it's not enough in the public arena, this kind of storytelling.
There is. I was lucky on the trip that I went out on, we bumped into a documentary filmmaker who actually ended up on our boat.
Oh, wow.
So there is a documentary on the whole project that I went to see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can share a link with that.
Yeah, please do.
It's
I'll leave a link to that in the description.
Absolutely fascinating. And it describes in much more detail it's a very, very complex story. It's not just about fishing. It's
a lot of moving parts, isn't there? It's a whole. I understand what you're saying.
It is. It's there's so many individual stories involved with the fishing industry. And if the fishing dries up, it's what do these people do to make a living?
Just going back onto the actual fishing here, Stephen, what are these kind of headstanding fish?
Chelodus punctatus, I think. Put on the spot there, so I could be completely wrong.
Common name?
Spotted headstanders.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing fish.
Beautiful fish, aren't they?
I love how graceful they are. They can be a little bit nippy amongst themselves occasionally, but generally they live in loose schools. So I think we've got...
What's the full scientific name again, sorry?
I believe that the Chelodus punctatus.
Okay, let us know in the comments if Steve's right or not.
There you go. So could well be wrong.
And the angelfish, are these scalari?
Yeah, these are scalar. These are from the Manakapur region. They came from a breeder locally, and we're now growing these on. They're the Manakapur redbacks.
Beautiful.
So they do have when they're older, they'll have a beautiful reddish orange shoulder on them.
Yeah, they are stunning fish.
They are gorgeous. And the cardinals, of course. And I'd also forgot, higher up in the water column, somewhere towards the back, there's some Nanostomus equis in there as well, the rocket pencil.
Beautiful.
Quite difficult to see there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it. There we are.
Water seems to have quite a bit of particle matter in today.
It's just biotape correct. That's
that's it. They grub around on the bottom and all this leaf litter that's down there, and that's what they love to do.
Congratulations on a beautiful scape. I love it.
Thank you very much.
Should we go and look at some fish?
Yes, let's do it.
Right, so how many systems have you got? How many?
Well, we started on systems. There were 9 systems in total.
Okay.
I don't like systemised tanks.
You individually filter?
They've now all gone back onto individually filtered.
And why do you prefer that, Steve?
Because we deal with so many fish week in, week out, it is a case of being able to isolate everybody in case of problems. So when we started, I'll just move this across for you. So. You can see down there. So we had a sump system, and all 3 bays on this wall were all on the system. Now, because we bring fish in, if we had a problem in this tank, it could quite easily spread to all the other tanks. And I wasn't keen on that at all. No. So I've gone back to what I know to being a really good way of doing it. We heat the room. You can feel how warm it is in here. It is a warm fish shop. But now we can, and if we need to alter any water parameters for certain fish, we can do quite easily. We can change individual tanks.
These are nice, these shrimp.
Yes, they are.
Orange.
Bright orange, they're absolutely gorgeous. And the ember tetras, of course. I love ember tetras.
They're a classic, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And do you have soft water here?
Yeah, sort of. It's a KH and GH around 7.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit harder than I'm used to. So
I was going to say, because I thought you were really soft.
Runcorn, where we live, there's 2 water supplies into Runcorn. One comes from Lake Vyrnwy in Wales, which is super soft. And as a hobbyist, I used to breed a lot of epistogrammas. And that was what I was known for, caracins, epistogrammas.
Yeah, because for people that don't know who you are, Steve, because you're a bit of a legend in the UK fish keeping hobby, aren't you? Let's face it.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, but I wouldn't use them words exactly.
You're very well known in the...
Yeah, I think that's because I've got a big mouth as well.
Yeah, you've got a big mouth, but that's all good, mate.
But yeah, well, God, my history goes back a long way. So I've been a hobbyist fish breeder for many, many years, just obsessed with fish.
When I met you, you had a fish house at home, and you were always doing it up.
Yes,
is that about right?
Yeah. Always looking to better it. So once it was done, I was always then looking to
the next thing to improve.
The next thing to improve, exactly. Yeah. And I think you will share that with your aquascapes as well, George.
Oh yeah.
Because I think we're all looking for a level of perfection that I don't know whether we ever attain it.
I don't think you will, and and that's okay. And I don't think you should expect it, because if you expect it, then you start to get sad because you'll never reach it. So the joy is to find the joy in the process, and not in the outcome.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That's very, very similar. And every time I was rejuvenating the fish room, I always thought it was the best that we could do at the time.
Yeah.
And then there's things that you want to change and tweak, and absolutely love it. So so my hobby was breeding. Like I said, I settled on epistogrammas and dwarf cichlids. Yeah. Cardinal tetras are mastered, so I bred a lot of cardinal tetras.
I've just got to say, these are huge.
Yes.
I don't think people can see a sense of scale, but these are massive.
They are massive. So as a shop, we usually deal with the much smaller fish.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of customers that want to put them in with angelfish or discus. Yeah. And these larger ones are much, much better for that. So we can get them away and they can go straight into some of these community tanks with much bigger fish.
They're whoppers, as we say. Oh, interesting.
Talking of whoppers.
Talking of whoppers.
These are customers. These are ones that come in off customers. So
we rehome them.
Yeah, we rehome them. Yeah. We don't generally offer that as a service, but it is it's something if we don't mind helping out.
Yeah.
And with such beautiful creatures, we will find a home for them. So
yeah, is this a polypterus?
Polypterus, that one, and I'm not sure what species, to be honest, George.
It's like an ancient fish. Yeah, really, really ancient.
It literally arrived about an hour before you turned up today.
Wow!
So I've not even had chance to get the books out. And
well, let us know in the comments if anyone knows the species.
Yeah, there we go. This isn't a fish that I've ever kept before.
It's beautiful,
to be honest. He is absolutely gorgeous.
Do you know what? I get these impulses like, I want to keep it. Do you get that?
Yeah, oh yeah. The beauty of owning Premier Aquatics is later on, it's been a hectic day today. It's going to get even more hectic later. Yeah. I will take, when we close the doors later, I'll literally take half an hour. I'll have a gentle walk around the fish room and I'll admire some of these fish myself.
They are absolutely stunning specimens.
There is some gorgeous. This one's a male, this Hoplosternum. And you can tell, I don't want to disturb him because you're filming, but this bright orange thickened pectoral fin, that indicates a male. So
there you go, guys. We're dropping knowledge bombs on you.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a breeding pair of those, that big thickened orange spine, that would indicate a male.
To me, that looks like a beautiful specimen.
That is a gorgeous specimen, it's not far off fully grown.
I'm not an expert on these,
me neither with catfish, but I've got lots of friends that are.
Does look like a beauty.
Well, we've got shared friends that are experts in catfish, I believe.
Oh, look at this.
The Oscar's on the move.
The Oscar's on the move, everyone. I never kept an Oscar. I'm not a big fan of aggressive fish.
No, me neither.
Never have been really.
And as a shop, we do have to have a few fish like that to try and cater to everybody.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's got different tastes.
But I kept Oscars when I was younger. Yeah. But again, it's not something that I've got the space or the scope for, really. Because as a fish breeder, if you were to breed fish like this, what would you do with 2,000 baby Oscars?
God, have you got any sort of super interesting fish that you want to show off today, or is it mainly?
We do. So.
Oh, these are beautiful.
We do have a lot of beautiful fish, but being such a small shop, I think we've got around 150 tanks now.
Wow.
That doesn't really allow us to have too much in stock that's really weird and wonderful. So these are Corridorus panda, of course, one of the more popular ones. The Epistogramma panjoro are a very beautiful fish. Yeah.
How much is he going for?
We sell a pair of those, a sex pair, for £25.
And these ones you bred yourself?
No, unfortunately, with running a business now, I don't have any time.
Ain't not got time for that.
So the fish room that you remember is derelict now. It's there's not a lot in there at all.
Do you find you fulfil your hobby now through here, or do you have to?
Through work, yeah. I can't breed because it takes up too much time, but I'm still surrounded by fish. I wouldn't have it any other way. I do, to be honest, George. I absolutely love and it's a different hobby, if you like. It's a different aspect to the hobby.
I find it really interesting chatting to fellow professionals who are hobbyists as well, like a professional hobbyist.
Yes.
And I put you in that category. I put me in that category, and there's a few of us, and I always wondered how different people perceive their own kind of hobby / working relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know that this isn't just a job, because I can gladly come in at 6 a.m. and I can go home at 10 p.m. if needed, and it doesn't feel like a job. So there's not a single day where I've had that I couldn't wait to get out of the place. So I just love being around here.
That's a good sign, isn't it?
And yeah, I think if you can do a job that you love to do, then I think you're on the right track.
Yeah, it's not like work, is it?
So, rarer fish, or fish that are a little bit more out of the unusual.
Anything particularly beautiful?
We've just got some really pretty.
Look at this pisto.
There you go. That's a nice female.
I'm a sucker for a nice pisto.
Yeah, that's a female. This pelvic acromis next door as well. Take a good video of that one. That's an absolutely gorgeous specimen. That one.
Yes.
So this one's. So most of the viewers will recognise the common crib. I think most hobbyists would know the common crib. This one is a rarer relative called pelvic. It was called pelvic acromis taeniatus. It's now pelvic acromis cribensis. So the species from Cameroon were reclassified. This one's from Cameroon, and it's a relative of the common crib. A little bit rarer, far more beautiful in my opinion.
I agree.
And
I think there's a bit more understated beauty to it.
Yes, I love like the checker pattern in its scaling and the spotting in the tail.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Bright yellow stomach, and everybody should remember that this is actually in a shop tank as well, and it's showing some real good colour and fin development.
Testament
we feed. I think that's the hobbyist background as well. So we feed a variety of live foods. A lot of shops won't. Real good, high quality dry foods, live foods. So we bring in every week some tube effects. And everything's today has been fed well as tube effect.
Oh wow, okay. And it really makes a massive difference.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Why is that? Is it just the nutrient content, or
I
is it the
think
actual
it's nutrient content,
activity, like invoking like a naturalistic behaviour?
I think that's right. I think that one's got a deformity, this gold gourami that you're actually focused on. Now this was a tank closure again, so all of these gouramis were in a tank that was closed down recently, and they came in. So one of our customers has named that one Humpy, and hopefully we'll find him a good home. So the rainbow fish is particularly pretty, and I can't remember which species this one is, so unfortunately there's no label on the tank, so
let us know in the comments, and someone will know.
Yeah, someone will know. That is gorgeous, really nice fish.
Yeah, some cracking fish, mate. I knew we'd find some beauties in here.
Yeah, and we've brought some nice stuff in this week. So in this time, if there's they're just tucked in the corner. I don't know if you see it. That's a peacock goby.
Yes.
Really nice nano species. Doesn't get too large at all. About 3 inches tops. Particularly well grown. Well coloured, those ones for young fish.
Oh, more cherry shrimp.
Lots of cherry shrimp. So again, came in from a customer yesterday.
I was going to say, there's actually a bit of quite hard to get cherry shrimp, normal regular supplies. So a lot of people are relying on breeders.
And exactly, and we'll buy in from breeders because I know that we'll get good quality stock. Yes. So we certainly, and being a fish breeder myself, I like to support the trade and.
Yeah, that's good.
Bring stuff in.
So you do encourage local breeders? And
of course.
Yeah.
And quite a few now actually buy their breeding stock from us and then go on to breed them themselves. And
so are these bred? Or?
These are young discus. No, these are from Asia, these ones. So these are brought in from Asia. And the top tanks are quite dark. It's because we've turned the lights off while we were filming earlier on. Everybody stood around in the dark. If you have a look in the around the counter.
Yeah, sorry everyone, it's my fault.
It's fine.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I think we can call it a close there because we need to get ready for the workshop.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much to Steve Chester, Premier Aquatics.
Premier
Where are you? Runcorn.
Runcorn, Cheshire, just off the M56 motorway. Relatively easy to find. We're on a business park. All our details are on the Facebook page, website.
Yeah, we'll put links in the
We're active on social media.
Yeah.
We do regular live streams on social media, on Facebook, so you can see what's coming in, when it comes in. And
what are we doing today?
Well, live stream. Look at this. So, George.
Steve's going to scope this for everyone.
You don't want me to scape this. It'll just end up black water with twigs in it.
I love that, mate. I'd be happy with doing that.
But that's my comfort zone. We're going to rely on you to scape this. So basically, Premier Aquatics are supplying Ciano M Pro 60 and all the hardscaping that George has been round the shop and chose. And George, very kindly, we're going to turn this round to face outwards later on, and George is going to stand behind here and he's going to actually aquascape this one for our customers who've come in to view the workshop, and and then we're raffling this off. People got the opportunity to buy a ticket, £5 for a ticket, and we've already sold a lot. And somebody tonight, I'm hoping you'll do the draw for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
7:45, we're going to draw it live on Facebook. We'll film that, and somebody is going to win this tank fully scaped. You've picked out plants? Yes. So I know there's wood going in there. I haven't seen the substrates, so it's going to be a surprise for me. And then the fully scaped tank, we're going to raffle off.
Yes, mate.
Fantastic.
Right, thanks everyone for joining. Keep on scaping. Cheerio.